Hello, party people. Day 22. Don't I look serene today? After last night's surprise thunderstorm and the heavens opening up and telling me what they were telling me, today's just like, turn it around. And I think I got somewhat of the message. And so I shall share with you. So today's day 22. That is just such a big number. It's really not. But it's a big number because I think like, oh my gosh, 3 weeks have passed. Like, when is the friggin' day gonna get here? Just like take care of business and let's get this party started. And what I learned as the breeze is picking up and Mother Nature is reminding me again, what I learned is I'm doing too much. Shocker for those that know me. I'm doing too much. I'm thinking too much. I'm planning too much. And the irony is, like, I was at this like information session, whatever it's called, yesterday about extremes and not living in extremes. And I'm like, that's so for me, you know. I look at my thumbnails and I'm either like, ah, or I'm like, you know, look how great everything is and life is hunky-dory. Or I have to like super meditate and be like in the zone, one with the birds. And then last night, it's like, holy cow, am I gonna get electrocuted while talking on my phone with the windows open? My carpets did not get, well, not mine, the carpets here did not get wet, by the way. Which brings me to today. Today is not an extreme. So I woke up. Again, I'm home by the time you guys see this, so I can share now. But I woke up and I went kayaking this morning. It was like a tour thing. Although the tour was a whole of 2 people and 2 instructors. Excuse me. You know, I'm gonna address that right now and get some water and drink that, because you'll have the patience as I hydrate, because today is all about just being, including with the spaces and gaps and time, just being with the fact that I'm on a selfie stick that's going all over here. Excuse me. Yeah, just being. Caring a little bit less about things, reacting a lot less. That workshop thingy I went to go to yesterday was led by a medical doctor, not like a Zen guru. And what I thought was going to be, okay, how do I not live in extremes? He started talking about, like, I don't even know where he was going. Like, all the ways that you could, you know what, I tuned out after a while, but I heard the word die like 7 times. You know, don't do too much exercise, because then your heart rate will go up, and then you'll die. You know, don't eat too much fatty stuff, because then your arteries will get clogged, and then you'll have a heart attack, and you'll die. And I'm like, I stopped hearing him after a couple of slides. I don't want to look at slides while I'm on vacation. Slides are for like work and stuff. They're not for vacation time. So after he said die like 7 times, I'm like, oh my God. I have expletives in my head that I'll leave to myself, but that's what thoughts were in my head. And I'm like, why am I here? So I got up and I left. I didn't really care. I'm like, I'm not listening to this. This man is not serving me but with what he's speaking of. So, toodaloo. So I left. But I think I got the message or the lesson that yesterday was trying to teach me. Because even if as I look like at myself right now, I'm like, my hair is well highlighted and it's cut shorter and it just looks like, you know, my hair is curly. So I have like little curlicues going on here, and it just looks soft and wavy. And look at the pretty green grass outside, and the pretty building and whatever. And look at the pretty chair. Like, what nice calming colors. And how much do you actually sit and like enjoy a hotel room when you're on vacation? But I needed a nice soft cushy chair. Like, not in anyone else's space where I can just sit and chill. Went kayaking this morning at 7 a.m., which was early for me, but I really want to go kayaking because after I have the surgery, I won't be able to do that for a bit. Or I say that, and I don't really know. Actually, this right here is what turned things upside down. My thumb turned things upside down. So I'm not like an expert kayaker, but I enjoy kayaking. It's like chill, and I like being in the water and surrounded by nature, whatever. So I wanted to make sure while I was on this trip that I got some kayaking in. And then we went out on this lake, and she's saying, you know, my right shoulder hurts sometimes. I mean, I know why. I sleep on my, well, used to sleep on my right side, so that doesn't help with my shoulder. And then when I play tennis hardcore, it just aggravates it, so I know why it hurts. Note to self, though, bring that up to the internist that my shoulder hurts just to have it looked at, so I could be proactive and not reactive. But we're kayaking, and it's super quiet. It was supposed to rain this morning for the kayak, and I'm like, I have a rain jacket. I have a rain jacket with a hood on, so like I'm prepared and I'm good. And it didn't rain. I think it drizzled on the way back a little bit, but I didn't even like notice it because I had a hat on. But it was just so calming, and there was like some ducks. Oops, sorry, not supposed to have people in this. There were some ducks there and geese, and not as much wildlife as I had hoped for. But I'm like, you know what? Just go with it. You're on the water. It's like so calm. I mean, there's like hardly any waves or anything at all, except for what the ducks and the geese were doing. And I'm looking at the houses there, and like, there's no mosquitoes really there. And I'm like, it would be nice to win lotto and like buy a house here. Just like super good energy. Wake up in the morning, have your coffee, overlooking the lake. Whatever. And then, so my form for kayaking, sometimes like if I kayak on the Charles in Boston, it can be choppy. There's boats galore and sailboats and, what do you call it, duck boats. Like there's all sorts of activity going on. So like you have to be aware and make sudden movements sometimes to get out of the way of a boat that might, you know, that's much bigger than you are. So if anything, my shoulder hurts after kayaking sometimes because I am too extreme with it. And this morning when we went out, one of the instructors was like giving us a quick like reminder of how to kayak. And it's always good to refresh yourself. And she said, you know, make sure it all comes from your core. You know, you hold the oar loosely in your hand. And it should really be your legs and your core that's doing all the work. And I know that theoretically, but I don't usually kayak to work out. So, my body told me a little lesson this morning because I was aware. She said, you know, you shouldn't feel it in your arms. I'm like, all right, give my shoulder a break. I was engaging my core, which I haven't done that in a long time. And then when the thing was done, it was like 2 hours. I got out of the boat and like my hand hurt, or not my hand, but my thumb. And I look over and I have this blister. Can you see it? I have this blister on my thumb. And I'm like, I don't know. I've kayaked a lot. I don't think I've ever gotten a blister from kayaking. And I'm like, was I obviously gripping too hard? I don't know. But I feel like this little guy right here was like my lesson. That even when I think I'm being calm and I think I'm going to, or not going to extremes, my body is telling me that I still am. And that's what brings me to today's focus. That was like a 9.5 minute introduction to today's vlog. But it's about just being. And again, that mind-body connection. So, yeah, I saw that and I'm like, damn it, you know. My first thought was, I did this wrong too. Give me a break. I know how to kayak. Why did I get a damn blister? And then when I got back, there's like a schedule of activities that are going on here, and I forgot it in my room. Not that it's so far away, but I'm like, I don't want to walk back to my room to get the schedule. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Like, I'm gonna go shower. Not in my shower in the room, in the spa, by the locker room. That makes more sense if you watched yesterday's. So if you're watching this in backwards order, whatever. So I needed to gain some ownership and peace with the locker room experience. So here's the story. I walk in, realize that I need another robe because I left the other one here, and another pair of sandals. And the woman says to me, you should keep your sandals. You're not supposed to take them to your room, or whatever she said. And I'm like, I can't even do the sandals right. Like, give me a damn break. But overthinking, and I'm like, I am just here to shower, chill. So it was pretty quiet because it was early. And I'm like, I want an extended shower. So I went to the same locker, put all my stuff inside. I had a lot of stuff. Got my robe. And there was only one person there, the person that worked there. But I'm like, now is my time to own myself and just be with this body and not treat it like that. It looks like I'm doing a thumbs up, but I mean, you can see it. That's skin hanging off, which I should pull off. I don't even know what you're supposed to do with a blister. I need a Band-Aid. I'll ask after I'm done. So I got undressed, took my shirt off. It's not that kind of story. It's just after what happened yesterday, the locker room experience was not enjoyable. And I'm like, no one's here but her, maybe one other person. And I took my bra off and I just stood there. Like, not nervous or whatever, I just stood there. Because I have to slow down with my body and just be. I expected my shoulder to hurt from kayaking, and it didn't. So again, expectation is bad. I don't even remember what the other one was. Something good. Gratitude, I think. Whatever. And yeah, I stood there. Not for a freaky long time, but I stood there. And I'm like, let someone walk by. And granted, at first, I was facing the wall. But then I turned. And the woman that worked there walked by. And I don't even know, her head turned. I don't know if she looked up, down, what the heck she was looking at. But I did not feel anything. I didn't feel nervous. I didn't feel self-conscious. And the more, as I looked again, the black and blue marks are still there a little bit. It's yellowish. But they're misshapen. Both of them, actually. So it makes me seriously not question. I haven't gotten my BRCA test results back. They should be coming in this week, I think. But regardless, my left side, I wanted to have, or not wanted, it was suggested because there were too many areas. There was a lot of areas of concern where they'd have to go back in with biopsies and whatever. And I'm like, if you're going to do one, I don't want to have this done again in 3 years or something. I don't want to go through this treatment twice if I don't have to. And it was kind of suggestive. I saw the areas of concern. I'm like, they look like what my cancer cells, or not cells, what the cancer looks like, what the imaging looks like. I feel like I could talk for an hour, and I actually like that I'm talking so slowly, because I'm obviously learning something because I'm slowing down. So yeah, I stood there, she walked by, and I was okay with myself. I didn't think about the surgery, I just thought about my body as one whole. And this is me. Not that I go around streaking, but that something shouldn't stop me no matter how bad of a word it is or whatever, you know, who you are, your soul, all of that still needs to be there. And that's what I did. And I got in the shower, and that was probably the longest shower I've ever taken. Not like a Silkwood kind of thing shower. It wasn't like, It was chill. And this is mostly, I guess, for people that are diagnosed with breast cancer, or have even had biopsies for that matter. My breasts don't hurt anymore. It's day 22. They don't hurt at all anymore. So I was able to, you know, use the lovely smelling body wash and just, you know, first I used a washcloth and then I used my hand. And I don't want this to come across creepy, but I just, you know, I want to share that, like, it was like taking, you know, your body and just getting like, all right, this stuff is going on, and I need to, or not need to, I wanted to, like, touch myself. Not like that. I wanted to, like, touch myself and be able to clean myself to the point of knowing, like, I'm getting clean from this shower. When someone comes to bathe me twice a week when I can't, it's a thing that needs to be done. It doesn't strip your ego away. Your thoughts are what makes the process of stripping your ego away. Like, I'm still Jen. And right now, like, these are still part of me. And they don't look right because there's something wrong inside. And it's all part of this process. And I mean that, like, as a whole. Like, your whole life, there's a process. You know, I was weirdly looking at, like, literally every inch of me as I was showering, and I'm like my knee, it's hardly even, you can't even tell really at all. But when I was a kid, I don't know, maybe 10 or so, I was at my aunt and uncle's house, and I went across the street to play there or something, and I remember my mom telling me, don't run, and I ran, and I tripped and fell. I think it was like slate, pieces of slate to walk to their backyard, and I scraped up my knee, and I had this round, like, I mean, truly, I even forgot about it until I stared. Oh, sorry, I went to slide away the notification that I have a staff meeting right now. I'm not on it because I'm on vacation. So sorry for this. But I saw that mark and I was like, holy cow, that happened when I was 10 or however I was little. And I can't even see the scar. I just, like, remembered that. And then, like, I looked down on my leg and I had these couple indentations on the front of my calf from when I was, I think, 19. I dated someone that was stationed at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, and we took a road trip down with friends of mine, and we were all hanging out in the pool at night, which is such a non-safe thing to do, but I was 19, and we were all jumping in and being silly. And one of my turns when I went to jump in, somebody decided to put plastic chairs on the deck inside the pool. So I'm, like, running to jump in midair, and I hear someone yell, "Wait, watch the chair!" And what are you gonna do about it when, like, you're in the middle of, like, jumping into a pool? Too late. I jumped in. My leg hit the chair. And, like, I didn't break anything, whatever. I don't think. I walked just fine. But, oh my gosh, it started bleeding and everyone's freaking out. And fast forward, like, I have these like indentations in the front of my leg, which is funny because I don't even know if anyone knows that went on that trip with me, many of which I'm still friends with. So yeah, all you former Fort Braggers down there, and those of you that went to North Carolina with me, yeah, I have indentations in the front of my calf from that day. Oh boy. Oh, you know what? Actually, there's 3 on one leg, and I just see one on the other side too. So funny. Not haha funny. Like, just watch what you're doing when you're. Don't swim at night and don't put chairs in the pool. But I'm just like doing a scan of like all these things on my body that are different. And I don't know why I keep coming back to my toe. This is going to be a long one, by the way, so I'm just telling you right now, I'm not rushing to be done because I have nowhere to be for a couple of hours. So let's just chill. Get some coffee or tea. I'm not going through everything. I'll finish it off with the toe part. But, you know, I've mentioned my toe before and how that happened. Again, because I'm not slowing down. Weirdly enough, the person that I went to a chorus line with texted me this morning. And what, I'm on tangents, don't really care. What's interesting is that I heard I have cancer. Or she didn't say that. What she said to me was, you know, when I asked her, is there anything that you see or whatever, even though I know you won't have the biopsy results back for a day or two, and she looked at me in the eye and said, you're not going to die from this. It's the 21st century, blah, blah, blah. I tuned out after that, and I was like, excuse me? So even though I got the call on that Friday, Thursday is when she knew that that's what it was. On a tangent of a tangent, I see people writing on posts about margins. I have not Googled anything, so I don't even know what you mean by margins, and I don't really want to know that for right now. But if you're talking about the outside of the tumor, just as a heads up, the benign one that they saw had a very clear, like, outline. It looks like a black oval with a white dot in the middle. I don't even know what the white dot is, and I don't really want to know right now. But that's, like, very clear of a mass. The other one, closer to my nipple on my right side, that was malignant, is or calcification, so it's different. But my main big tumor has not well-defined margins at all. Like I said, it's not in my lymph nodes on the imaging. Like, lymph nodes are clear, thank God, or pray, but I only have one hand. Yeah, they're not like my lymph nodes, so it hasn't spread. But I don't, if you're talking about like margins, as to like the outside of the tumor, they're not clearly defined at all. They're actually kind of intrigued by it because they're like, that's not typically what it looks like. But I'm trying not to look at my text. I should shut notifications off when I do this. It's not clearly defined. It almost looks like an amoeba. It's like all like wiggly on the outside. The two ends, if you want to call them ends, are more clear, but the top just kind of fades out. So it's apparently it's been intriguing for the doctors and radiologists or whatever to look at it because it looks different. But they took like, what, 5, I think at least, tissue samples out of that area, which is what caused the bruising. And I mean, it's definitely malignant, but it looks different. So when I say, like, you know, people think of, oh, I feel lumps. I'm like, I don't feel any lumps. And looking back, when I was in the shower, like, even then, I don't want to massage because they told me not to. But I felt there a little bit, just like poked around just a little bit, and I don't feel anything. I mean, I still feel like it's harder up top, but I feel like it's muscle. I'll say it's muscle because I have been more, I've been doing more upper body work than I ever have. So like, I assume that that's what it is. I don't know. But yeah, no lumps, nothing. But I didn't have like weird feelings or thoughts in my head. I didn't have like, you know, a weird feeling on my stomach. It was like none of that. It was just kind of being with yourself and being okay with it and just being. And then I just pampered myself when I was done, you know, body lotion, whatever. I forgot my leave-in conditioner, so I'll be a frizz puff, but I don't really care. And then when I was like leaving, like I didn't have the agenda, like what do I have next going on, what about whatever, and I'm like, I'm on vacation. And you know the razors, like when you go someplace and you forget your razor, they bring you one, and they're like so ridiculously sharp, like you could slice, you know, whatever with it. Well, I was shaving my legs and cut myself in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots, which is partly why I'm sitting here. And I should know that from, like, you know, razors that you get, the disposable ones, whatever, that you get at like hotels and stuff. But I feel like it almost forced me to be like, okay, you have to sit down and not move your legs for a bit. I mean, they're little small nicks, whatever, but I have nice legs and I don't want to have like red scars, so. It's just life lessons to just sit and just be. So, yeah, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm just being. Having some water, don't feel like heating it up. Part of that's COVID and my paranoia. But I put a tea bag in it anyway. It said fennel something. I'm like, I don't even know what fennel smells or tastes like. Whatever. And we were like, oh, whatever. Taking care of myself, but knowing, like, just being. Being with my frizzy hair. Being with my legs that, you know, are a little bit marked up right now and have toilet paper on them. Oh, my foot actually fell asleep. How weird. Just being. And it's been the most relaxed I've been on this entire trip. Well, entire trip. I've only been here 2 days, but still. And I'm going home tomorrow. But yeah, just being. I've been planning and put all this stuff in place, and I'm gonna forget something. Something's gonna happen. And then this morning, while I was eating breakfast, I did take a peek at my phone because my friend, well, she's public about stuff. My friend Jenny posted this thing on my Facebook page, like about all the things going on when you're diagnosed with something or something pops up like unexpectedly. She has POTS. She's open about it. I mean, she has a page on her Facebook thing. She has a separate Facebook page too for, I think it's Topsy-Turvy Potsy, P-O-T-S. And she's just awesome. I mean, oh my gosh, Jenny, you're just awesome. She wrote this post and just like thinking of all the little things that you don't need but are nice to haves. Like cards. They're so old school. My friend Laura's been sending me cards. I had to do another episode about Laura, but I can't do that while I'm here. It's going to be called, I don't know the titles of these things. They just come to me as I post them. But Laura's been sending me like the wackiest things, and I'm like, oh my God, every day is an adventure with her. I absolutely love it. She's a wackadoodle, and I absolutely love it. She brings out my inner wackadoodle, and I need to do an episode, you know, a vlog. Like, everyone needs a friend like Laura. And I don't even know Laura super well. I met her at a barbecue, and I think we bonded over like a potato cannon. If you've never used a potato cannon or done one, they're kind of fun. But I just instantly clicked with her. And she's not local to me anymore, but she's mailing me stuff and cards. Like, cards are so old school, but I just love getting mail. Like, email is one thing, but I like opening my mailbox and then seeing that there's something handwritten from someone. So I don't want to do too many spoilers, because part of that, which Jenny brought up in her post, she said something about roaring or a lion or, I don't know, something about roaring or whatever it was. And Laura, here's a sneak peek, told me something about like, just, you know, can you yell? Can you scream? Just to scream. Just to get that part out of your system. Can you roar? And I'm like, well, I have to go someplace where I could do that. It'd be kind of inappropriate to do that here. So I'm not going to mess with the mojo here. I'll wait till I get home. But that needs to be an episode. Just about the roaring when I get back. That'll be a fun one. Oh my gosh, it's so like empowering. And when I roared at her, not at her, like and sent it to her, she's like, whoa, holy cow, you scared the crap out of me. Like, awesome. But Jenny, ugh. And her husband, Brad, like, they're just awesome people. And Jenny, like, posted this thing about things you don't think of that people will need. I let her looking. I'm at 30 minutes right now, and I'm wondering, how long could I go? Because I just want you to just be and chill. Like, seriously, just relax. And just stop doing and just be with yourself. I can't feel my feet right now. It's such a chill feel. This is like a weird meditation. I'm your meditative guide today. So yeah, Jenny wrote this whole long list of things like that you don't even know that you need or want. It's not need, it's more a matter of want. There are certain needs, and I feel like I have the needs taken care of, but like, what do you want? And she even mentioned like gift cards for my son, so he could go to like get food with friends or something, just to make things more normal and not such a big deal. And I didn't even think of that. I mean, of course I'd throw him a 20 or something, but if he, had the card in his hand, he'd just go and not think about it. Like little things like that. And one random thing that I'll bring up again, like Laura mailed me a doll. Well, she sent me a couple dolls, and she knows that some of them were a little creepy. But this one doll she sent me, and I'll go more into it because I'll show it to you when I get back home. The doll weirdly looks like me, especially since I cut my hair, because my hair's been like, it typically is long the past couple of years, and I cut it just to make life easier, and she looks like me. And the expression on her face looked just like how I was feeling when I opened the box. Because I was happy to open the box, so I was smiling because I'm like, ooh, what little treasures are in here? And I'll show you some when I get back home. But yeah, the doll looks like me. And like, when was the last time as a woman that you got a doll from someone? Like, there's so many people out there who've been mothering me. I don't just say nurturing, because nurturing can happen in so many ways, but there's, for me, very specific ways that I feel like how you would feel with your mother. And it may not be the mother you actually have, but I mean, like, if you think to yourself, what would a mother do? And my mother's still living, and I have my dad's remarried, and my stepmom is great. I have a very close relationship with her. And I'm seeing that my friends are like momming me, and I need that right now. When they mail you something like a doll, and a doll that looks like you, that you can like nurture, and it's soft and like looks peaceful, and it doesn't move. So like, the doll's just being. You can't change the expression on its face. It's not the kind, and she did send me one, but it's not the kind that when you like lift them back, their eyes closed, you turn up and their eyes open. It's made of fabric. And Jenny just made a list of stuff. Even like compression socks. That when I made that vlog of things that you didn't know that you needed, I don't think I mentioned compression socks. Or compression leggings, for that matter. Because it helps with blood circulation, and you definitely want to have, your blood flowing smoothly during all this. But it was a long post, and I got through half of it, and I started getting teary-eyed. Because I'm like, she totally gets what I'm thinking. And she's been handed stuff too, but it hasn't stopped her. Like, she does so much stuff, and she's just so kind and so real, and she's just, Jenny. Isn't that a Barry Manilow song? Jenny. Like, you're just so kind, and you get it. You just get it. So blessed. I'm so blessed for all the people I know. You know, you think you're alone, and you're really not. And, I mean, I would expect Jenny to step up and have gratitude that she does. Yeah, it's not, and if you're watching, you're like, I don't have anyone. It's not always the people that you expect to step up that do. Because some do and some don't. And the reasons are what the reasons are. And then someone will do something for you, totally unexpected. And you're like, wait, I'm not alone. Even spiritually, if you believe in that kind of thing, you're not alone. And my wandering mind is running out of things to say. I'm like, can I make it to an hour? But 36 minutes, not too shabby for a strange kind of meditation, I guess. I feel like that's what this was. My hand is totally at rest right now. My selfie stick, which I have to stop making fun of people for stuff. Because I'm telling you, which Laura also gave me. I showed you the box when I got it, and I didn't know who it was from. It was from Laura. And I said something about pink, I remember. Because I thought the box was cool, because it was like a black box with like this cool design on it. And when I open it up, the selfie stick is pink. So maybe I have to just be stop being judgmental about pink, because it's the color of my nails. Although it's like a dark pink, whatever. But my selfie stick is like the pinkest of pink. It's like a light, pretty powdery pink. And like my flowers, when I even did that vlog, the flowers behind me were pink, and I remember how happy I was, and that I got them from my payroll company, who've been so helpful. And I'm like, maybe that's it. I'm intentionally being surrounded by pink to slow me down, like to not be red or black, like the colors that I always wear. I went to get a baseball cap while I was here, and I'm like, I don't want a pink hat. I just stopped being that way. Yeah, it's being more soft, and I feel like that's my pink. It's being more soft. I just got to that, like, pink is, when you have a girl, everything's pink. I'm a girl. Maybe I rebel against that sometimes. I'm not a girl, I'm a strong woman, I have my stripes. I'm gonna wear a zebra stripe purse. Color my hair black and wear all black and wear my bright red lipstick, whatever. And those are parts of me, as I'm looking at my cowboy hat. Those are parts of me. And then there's a part of me that I'm not allowing to just be, which is this pink. Which I also just got, like Pink the singer. Like, she's hardcore. And she's soft and nurturing. I think it was on Amazon. There's a documentary I saw that Pink did. I just think she's awesome. I truly do. Like, she's so empowering, and the way she talks to her kids, like, is just amazing. And I have a playlist called Badass Music. So when I'm feeling like I need to be reminded I'm a badass, I put that on, and I have several of her songs on there. And I was listening to one of the lyrics, the rock star one. Na, 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 na. Reminding myself that I'm a rock star. And I was tweaking the lyrics a little bit to match the cancer journey. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'll read those and make new lyrics and use that as a vlog. But again, I don't like to write. So I don't think it's going to happen. But same thing with Pink, the person. Like, you know, I view her as being like this badass with a huge heart that's trying to help other people. Oh, a huge heart. That's funny because of her husband. Yeah, like big heart, but like tough. And like, you know, her name's not Pink, but even the way she writes it is not like typical how you would, you know, it's like a cursive, delicate pink. It's like pink, you know. So maybe I need to just switch my relationship with Pink. As I'm looking at my selfie stick right now. It's like the soft colors. Yeah. And the last thing I'm going to leave you with, because I'm at 40 minutes, so our meditation's ending. I like gift shops, you know, when you're like away someplace, just to bring some like little thing home or whatever. And like today when I was kayaking, I intentionally did not bring my phone with me kayaking because I'm like, I don't want to take pictures. Because how often will I actually look at the pictures? I don't want to focus on taking my camera in and out, in and out, in and out. And I took one picture. Maybe I'll use that for my thumbnail. Who the heck knows? I don't know. We covered a lot of bases today. But yeah, I like stopping in gift shops just to have something, but like practical things. Like I did buy a CD, which I'm like, do I even have a CD player anymore? The guy who did the meditation today, or not today, whatever day it was Australian. I don't remember if I had said that before. And I said like, I relax very well to Australian male voices. So when he was doing the meditation, I'm like, oh my gosh, is that Jason Stevenson? They have famous people come here. I'm like, how cool would that be? No, that's not his name. But he said he had a CD out or DVD, whatever. And I'm like, at this point, I'm like, is there something that I can just like scan and get it on iTunes or something? Because I don't have a CD player with me. My laptop doesn't have a CD player attached to it. You have to buy a separate thing. Thanks, Apple, for that. But that I do have one in my car. Not that it's smart to meditate in your car, but I was thinking when I go home, I want to bring part of this experience back with me. And, you know, I'll be laying in bed or resting on the couch or whatever I'll be doing. And I do have a DVD player at home. You know, I could play CDs on it and I could meditate that way easily. Just like leave it in the player and just have the remote by me and put it on to meditate every day. So like I don't need a keychain or a bumper sticker or whatever. But something that's like practical, you know. But I saw that they had a bunch of pillows, and the last time I was here, I got a pillow that said slow down. And it's always a reminder to me when I walk by, and it was super overpriced. But when I went by the gift shop here, I saw a pillow that said just be. And I'm like, yeah. I have my other pillows. I spent $50 on a pillow, and I thought it's been 5 years since I've been here. I kept thinking, I just spent $50 on a pillow. That's a bit extreme. I probably could make myself, but I'm not crafty. I'm not going to make it myself. But it's a reminder of like the mental state I was in, that I am in here, and bringing that home with me. And I mean, truly, like $50, I copay was certainly more than $50, you know? So not now, but when I get around to it before I leave, I'm going to go by the gift shop and see if they still have the pillow and bring it home with me to remind myself to just be, because sometimes I forget. And if I put it in my living area, I won't forget if it's literally looking at me. To just be, which is not the same thing as slowing down. Because just be means to just be where you are at that moment, no matter what's going on. Whether that's fast or slow. It's just being with whatever you're feeling I like how I'm looping back around finally almost an hour later. Just being with how you're feeling, being with your emotion, being with the fact that I finished reading Jenny's entire post and started crying at breakfast. Not sobbing. I mean, I was at breakfast. I was poised as much as I could be. But being with the fact that I had to let emotion out. And I did. And being with the crying and being with the razor that left some marks. Weirdly, one of my little pieces of tissue paper or tissue that was on my leg flew off, so maybe that's a sign. Everything's a sign. I believe that, at least. And just being with yourself, no matter where you are, no matter what you're thinking, just be with that. And no, you don't have to be any other way. Just be. Okay, gonna leave it there. Thanks for sticking with me for 45 minutes. And just be.